Alright, what's up? So pretty much this is going to be a tutorial for just newer players in Rust in general on, you know, what to do, like tips and tricks for basically what to do when you get the game. You might only have like 50 hours something. I have 4K hours, which might seem like a lot, but it's not even that much, to be honest, compared to like some other content creators that just have like tens of thousands. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. So when you first start, you're going to see like a load of servers. You're going to see like official, community, modded, and then friends, favorite, history. So history is obviously servers you've played on before. Favorited, you know, you can favorite servers if you press this like star there. If you like a server a lot or whatever. Community is what people have made, like what random people have made. Official, this is run by like official like people, I guess you could say. Some are run by the game developers, like the face punch ones. Some are run by like some websites and stuff, but honestly, if I was starting out, I'd probably want to start on maybe like a like medium to low pop, and medium to low pop is from anywhere from like 50 to like 100, in that range, I'd say. Maybe like 30 to 100, 30 to 70, something like that. And you can start on an official, but if I was going to say start on official, but in general, if I were going to say start on one of the servers, I'd say start on one of the face punch servers, just because you keep all your blueprints on there for the next force wipe as well. And I think that's the only server that currently do that, that's official. I know some others used to, like Rustified, but yeah, I'd suggest a face punch server. Or if you want to go down the modded route, if you want to learn to play on like a 5-time server, whatever, you can just choose any of these. There's literally thousands of servers. See, like 3,000 servers. There's literally just loads. So you can honestly just do what you want. Me personally, I started on modded when I first started playing, but I kind of wish I started on official, because it's just more a pure experience, I think, personally. But I mean, I'd recommend starting on official, but if you want to start on modded, that's 100% fine. And also something I'd recommend is if you're new and you want to get used to the PvP mechanics of this game, I'd recommend joining one of these UKN like training servers, which you know, it says here you can have 1v1s, there's targets, free-for-alls, everything. And you know, it's just pretty much a good way to learn the basics of PvP, really, without any loot actually really being on the line, because you know, you just get it for free. In this, it's literally just like a sandbox server, but just for PvP. And you know, there's also, if you want to try out a base design that you want, there's also these servers. There's loads though, it's not just these, there's sandbox creative servers, there's literally loads of them. But yeah, I'd recommend going on a training server, getting a feel for the recoil of like the guns and stuff like that, because you know, if you come from like other games that have like no recoil, you might want to like, it might take you a while to like get the recoil down and stuff, because you know, it can do, if you don't come from like CS or whatever, then you know, it can be quite hard to start learning recoil if you just never really had to deal with it in any other like FPS games or whatever, like COD. There's not much recoil in COD, for instance. And also for making your first like starter base or whatever, honestly, what I'd probably recommend, just so you don't make like a fucking awful base, what you should do is probably just search on YouTube, just like whatever, just simple like Rust base design, and just use that for a while until you kind of get the feel of it, and you know like what you're doing, you know what like soft side, hard side is, that type of stuff. Because you know, when people are new, they don't know the difference between soft side, hard side walls, then they get eco raided. So that's like a whole thing that you just need to know about, really. It's actually like kind of important, because you don't want to just be getting eco raided, because that shit's just like not fun. Alright, so you're going to spawn on the beach, just like everyone else's on any Rust wipe, which, you know, you probably already know that, but you're going to spawn with rock torch, yeah, you know that. I spawn with snowballs because it's the Christmas event when I'm recording it. And so you want to look at the map, and you're going to want to build near monuments like this, like train yard, water treatment, these are good monuments. Launch site's a good monument. Mill tons is good. Excavator's not very good. Keep away from that. Outpost is very good. Airfield's good, but you don't want to make your base too close to them, because there's probably going to be clans and stuff like that that are like living in the area, like usually very close to the monuments. So you might want to make a base like just outside, like here or something. If like I'd say like here's a good spot, because clans are probably going to be like closer like to the road, closer to airfield, somewhere like that. So you just kind of want to stay out of the way of the clans, because you're just going to get roof camped, and that shit's just not fun to deal with. So then you've got the snow. If you want to live in the snow, you get a lot of nodes. That is one thing that is pretty much, the snow is just amazing for. It's just nodes. Nothing really else, to be honest. I personally don't like living in the snow just because it's toxic, because you just freeze to death like all the time. And it's okay like if you're end game, you have like jackets, tack gloves, all that stuff, but when you're starting off and you have like no cloth and you're just constantly freezing, especially at night time, it gets to like minus like 30 sometimes if you have no clothes on, and that will just insta kill you. Like you cannot do anything when that's happening. So I'd more than likely avoid snow. What I'd recommend probably doing is making a base like out just like a few squares outside the snow, just so you have easy access to nodes, but you're not freezing to death constantly. So then there's the desert, which is pretty much the opposite to the snow. Well, obviously, but you know, there's like no nodes in here. There's like, well, there is nodes, but they're just like very scarce, just because that's just how it is. And the thing with the desert is it's like very flat compared to other places around the map, which you'll realize. And so what I would recommend is either living like in between in the normal areas, or like just like, you know, on like the side of one of these, like either the snow or the desert, because personally I don't like the desert that much. I'd probably rather live near more the snow than the desert, just because the nodes, you know, there's just not many, and it gets old very fast, just not being able to find nodes for if you want upkeep or anything like that. If I was like a solo player starting off, I'd probably tend to avoid somewhere like launch site or you know, other big monuments like maybe excavator, where it's mostly controlled by clans, just because of the size of the monument. And clans will also be wanting to run the excavator, because, you know, clans usually use that stuff most, because if you use that as a solo or a small group, it's not really that good. But if you're not wanting to fight much, I'd recommend making your base near like one of these monuments, the tier 1 monuments, like the supermarket, the gas station, mine outpost, something like that. And also they can have these small roads like coming off the large roads, which you can see like just there, which also have loot like components on them and everything. So yeah, it's also pretty good. And also, if you're playing on a large map, like this map is very large, you wanna be collecting cloth on the way, just like as you're running over to a spot you want to live or whatever, just to get some sleeping bags down, just because, you know, you don't want to be like middle of the map, have no bag, you have to get killed, then run all the way back, because then that shit's just like, it just makes you not want to play when something like that happens, because, you know, that can easily happen. You could run into an auto turret, you could just get like shot out of nowhere, and then you just wasted all your time running like fully across the map for like no reason. So just make sure you like place a few sleeping bags. You know, it's not hard to get, it's 30 cloth, and you know, one cloth you see on the floor is 10 on the vanilla if you're playing vanilla. So you know, just 3 of them, easy bag, just like place it, it's easy respawn. And also a feature which I started using when I like first started Rust is the alt view, which pretty much if you press the left alt on your keyboard and look around, it makes it so you can look around here pretty much 360, like almost 360. You can't quite see like fully behind you, but I'd say it's like 360 view. And no one actually knows that you're actually looking at them. There's no way for them to tell you're looking at them. So if I'm running this way, I could be looking like this over that way, but like that guy would have no idea. Like if someone's chasing you, whatever, and you want to look, but you don't have to physically stop, turn around, look at them. You can literally just hold alt, look like that, move your mouse, and you still keep on like the same direction, which is honestly a pretty sick feature, which I did not actually use much when I first started playing. And also you can actually take things without actually looking at them in alt view. So like if there's something on the floor, like some stone, some wood, anything like that, you can actually you can stop, you can like this, and you can just like look to the side. Say if that was like some stone or wood, you can press E, and you know you would get it, and you don't actually have to be like you don't have to physically turn around like this just to pick it up. You can be running past, press E, and just keep on running, which I think is just pretty sick, to be honest, which, you know, I did not really do that much when I first started playing. Then there's the obvious stuff like, you know, field of view. You don't want this on like low, just because, like, why would you want this on low? You can literally not see as much. Like, you know, you see, I can no longer see this tree, this one here. If I'm on 70 FOV, I put that up to 90, I can now see more of the tree. Like, do you understand? Like, you have to be rocking 90 FOV on this game, otherwise you're just at an immediate disadvantage just from PvP, from everything. And if you haven't like yet changed higher FOV, you just need to. In general, it's just like so much better in every different way. The max on this game is 90, but you know, the lowest is 70. I think you can have it as well. Yeah, so yeah, you just crank that up to max, or at least like 85. And also, I'd recommend turning all these things off right here. This is, you know, a personal preference again, so you don't have to do this, but you know, when you have stuff like that on, just look at the screen. How are you meant to see people with that on? Like, that needs to go straight off as soon as you get into the game. People might say, oh, it makes the game look nicer. How are you trying to fight, like, when you have this shit on? Like, you can't see things. It looks like you just woke up or some shit. Like, your eyes are all like blurry. And also, the torch. The torch is actually a very overpowered item when you think about it. You might not think it is, but it actually is. So they recently updated the torch to pretty much last the full cycle of the nighttime cycle, which is 15 minutes in this game, I think, on vanilla, that is. If you're playing modded, you know, it can be changed. But on vanilla, this will last you a full nighttime now, which is a lot longer than it used to. And plus, if you have like a flashlight, you know, say if you're roaming with like a flashlight, people know you have like a weapon that's, you know, high-ish tier. It could be like a crossbow though, so you never actually know. But if you see a flashlight like running like far in the distance, you're more likely going to be on high alert than if it's just a torch like just floating about like this, because what you associate a torch of like a naked, well, I do a lot, or like a lower tier player, and you associate a flashlight with like someone who's like tier 2 usually and above. So that's just what I'd say. I'd say just keep your torch like on you most of the time, just because you never know when you're gonna want to use it. And you know, in this game, the nighttime, like, look, just looking at the floor like this, it's literally pitch black. So like, you know, just keep it on you. This is a light night right now. Sometimes, honestly, this shit will go pitch black and you'll not be able to see anything. So, like, you know, there'll be times where, like, look, where's my door? You're gonna need this on you. If you don't have a flashlight or a torch, then you're literally screwed. So you're gonna have to, you know, you're just gonna have to have some sort of light on you. So it's just pretty good to just keep on you. And also, when farming, you don't want to like over farm. I know, because it can be very easy to like over farm if you're not getting much action. You could just be like, oh well, let's run out with a pickaxe, start hitting nodes, and then, you know, you might not have like a huge base, but you might just have a base full of just resources that you don't know what to do with, because they actually quickly stack up, and you don't really want to do that. Just because then, you know, if someone raids you, they're gonna get a lot of shit. It's like, what I would recommend is not farming lots of sulfur at the start of your wipe if you're not planning on raiding like soon or anything like that, just because there's no need to, like I'd say farm a few nodes for like ammo, like GP, stuff like that that you like need. But the thing is, you don't want to be farming like a row of sulfur like on wipe day just to get like raided just like second day, just because there's no point. Like, if you're not planning on raiding, then what's the point in farming like all that sulfur? Just because if you do end up getting raided, then, you know, the person who raided you, they get more shit, and it's just like there's no need to do that. Like, when you need to farm, you can farm. And what people might say is they might just say, oh well, I like to farm early on, so I don't have to farm sulfur later on when I want to raid, and I can just you know, instantly craft it and raid. Which I understand that, but at the same time, you don't know when that time is going to be. So what I'd rather do, this is just personal, it's just, you know, when I want to raid someone, farm the sulfur, then do it. Just because, you know, also if you get raided, like especially offline, it's just funny when they get like no sulfur and shit, because it's just like they've just like farmed probably a lot of sulfur for a strong base, let's say you live in, and they just get like hardly anything back. It's just kind of funny just to think about. So, and also, you don't want to be like staying outside like in the open for too long. You don't want to be like too stacked. You don't want to have too much stuff on you to where if you get killed, you're gonna rage quit, because then that's just gonna stop you from playing the game. It's just gonna kill your motivation. So I'd say like every like 15 to 20 minutes, you know, probably trip back to your base, drop some stuff off, then go out again, just because, you know, if you get killed, you don't lose as much stuff, and that's just like, you know, it's not, you don't feel like as shit as you would if you lost like a full inventory of stone or whatever. So you don't want to farm too much in one run. You just want to keep it like, you know, you want to farm enough that it's not like a waste of time, but you don't want to farm too much to where if you got killed, then you'd start crying about it, basically. And you just want to find that like sweet spot, which I think is like 15 to 20 minutes. It can change, obviously. Like you could run out, kill someone who's farming or has a full inventory of stuff, and then, you know, you just run home straight away, which, you know, that can just easily happen. So it obviously is not always going to be the same time, but just roughly I'd say keep it around like 15 to 20 minutes. Also, another tip is keybinds in this game. You know, you might want to like search them up. There's a lot of websites that show you like all the keybinds for this game. There's stuff like auto run, which right now if I press Y, which is my auto run key, I just auto run, and it's just great because, you know, if you're on a huge map, you don't want to be holding your keys in like constantly to run, because, you know, your fingers can start like aching and whatever, and it's literally really easy to keybind. You can have all sorts of keybinds. You can have like weapon keybinds to your like your mouse or whatever if you wanted to. You know, it's just there's a lot of stuff in the console commands that's not actually in the settings that's actually really good to have. There's like a setting like this, you see it like spazzing a bit. I uploaded a video on that, which if you're near the water, you can actually see like see under the water for a second. It's just like a small exploit. Like, I don't know if you can see. I'll try like zoom in. You see the water like slowly going, like it like spazzing a bit. Something like that can help. That can help you see like if you've killed someone in the water, something like that. It helps you see them. Just little stuff like that. There's just lots of keybinds and stuff that you should probably just check out on a website and just like search it up, like Rust console commands or whatever. You know, there's going to be a lot of helpful ones. And also, people who are new to the game might not know this, but if you actually stand next to a workbench while crafting, it goes a lot faster, because, you know, some people just won't know that that's watching this. Like, some people just actually won't know. And another good thing is if you hold a shift, like left shift, middle mouse, and drag out, it splits stuff into like thirds. So like say you're say this is like sulfur for a furnace. What I would do is I'd just shift middle mouse, then I'd half this, and then, you know, split into thirds right there. Then you just stick that in the furnace, and that's your sulfur like sorted out. So instead of just, you know, like manually having to, you know, spread them out like this, like you used to have to do, it's honestly just literally as fast as that, and you just stick it in the furnace, and yeah. And also another thing is the hover keybind. So pretty much you see this, how I just like looted like fast like that. Pretty much its standard keybind is H, but I've rebound mine to C. Again, you can change that to anything you want. I just have mine as C because it's fast. Like say you've looted someone on the floor, it's a lot faster than like manually right clicking like this, like that, because, you know, it just is faster. You basically hold your key, swipe across, it just instantly does it, and you can literally just go like this, like that in your whole inventory, and just slap something in like a chest or something. If you're like out fighting, you need to put loot away quick and run out, you literally just swipe like that, it's in your chest, easy done, and it's just so much faster than like manually having to just click. So it's just a sick thing. And also, Outpost has some like really good trades. So that's why you might want to live near it. There's some insane trades there. There's like literally, just look at the one for example, which is 150 stone for 500 wood. Like if you're new to the game, you might not actually know like that's like OP as fuck, but it actually is, because honestly, stone, like one node in vanilla is 1000 you know, stone. And that, you know, you can trade that in for wood. I can't really do the maths because I'm just arse at maths, but, you know, I think it's like a 1 to 3 ratio or something. I might actually be wrong saying that, so Yeah, but it's something like a 1:3 ratio, which farming wood can be very like tedious, just like annoying as shit to do. You can get jumped easily while farming trees just because they're loud as fuck when they fall as well. So it's just can be annoying farming trees. Plus, it's easy wood for your furnaces to just constantly keep them running. And there's other things here like blue cards, chainsaws. Chainsaws are insane now as well. Jackhammers, which is insane for farming. You know, there's tactical gloves, 40 scrap. You can research them. And I think that gives you around 200 cloth, maybe a bit less. So it's like 40 scrap for 200 cloth, something like that trade. That's not exactly, I don't think that's exactly right, but it's something around that. And another good tip is if you're like starting out and you just have like no loot at all, you just like what I have now. What you could do if you see the crate at like oil rig and you're close to it and you see like it's recently just been taken, you can literally just swim over there for some scraps, because if it's some clans running it or whatever, there's probably like a few like low tier weapons like just left on there because they do not need them at all. Like they're running that with AKs, like semis, whatever. There's probably like revolvers and like DBs, like water pipes and stuff like that, and honestly that's like pretty good for if you have nothing. Say if you have like no blueprints, like on this server I have none. If you went to rig and you got like, I don't know, a rev or something, not like I don't know, P2, that's like kind of insane. So it's just worth sometimes just like swimming over there if you're close by. I wouldn't, if you're like middle of the map, there's no point swimming all the way just to see if there's some scraps. But you know, if you're close by, then just, I don't know, take some like 2 minutes to just like swim over. It depends how far it is though. Also, if the rig's in the snow, do not attempt to swim out because you will instantly die, especially if you're naked. Just because like you're gonna be like -40 or something like that if you're naked and swimming out in snow. If it's nighttime as well, then yeah, that's even worse, to be honest. And there is at Outpost as well. There is also 3 recyclers and an oil refinery, which is oil refineries are kind of meta, honestly, because you know you hit like one of these red barrels here, which you can get low grade fuel and crude oil from. You get like probably like 5 low grade, sorry, and about like 15 crude maybe. And crude oil is pretty much a 1:3 ratio as well. So you know, for every 1 crude oil, that turns into 3 low grade in the refinery, if you didn't know that. So also, so if you see just like a load of crude, if you wanna just get low grade fast, honestly, just hit like the road barrels. You can go underneath the dome, which is here. You go underneath that, and you don't actually need any radiation if you want to go underneath it and farm the red oil barrels. So that is actually pretty sick for starting off, just going like under dome, taking them. And there is also 2 refineries now at dome. They only used to be 1, I think, but now there's 2. So I don't really know why there is, but there just is. And so yeah, that's also pretty sick for just starting off, just getting easy low grade for like meds and like furnaces and stuff. And also horses are like really OP, especially for if you're a solo player, and you can just find them out in the wild, or you can spend, what is it, 75 scrap to buy a saddle and then just get a horse. But I wouldn't personally pay that just because I don't think it's worth it, because you know, if you get killed on your horse, you'll lose your horse as well. So it's just like, you know, and they're not hard to find in the wild either. Like you just look for like a while, and you know, oh look, there's one just down there. Like this guy's one just outside of his base, you know. And there's all different types of horses. There's like the white horses and the black horses. They're the fastest horse in the game. And like this horse is like a medium to slow horse, I think, just by looking at it. But if you actually run up to the horse, you can check its stamina. You can check its like you can examine it, as you see here. As I can do this, examine. And then you can see, you know, 38, so this is like very slow. Stamina's max, like on the horse, but like if you actually go on the horse, you see the like stamina bar like just above your health. That's pretty much what it has, and you know, as you sprint with it, it will slowly go down, but you can get the horse's stamina up by actually feeding it food like this. It should eat this if you just like throw it to it. See, it eats it. And now look at the stamina, it's gone up. But obviously in that situation I would actually eat the food because, you know, I am starving, but I was just showing that for the sake of the video and the tutorial. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Like, I'd say that's the main tips I can really say for now. There probably is some more like small tips on that I could say, but you know, it's not really worth like just mentioning, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, if this video helped you in any way, then I guess just like video, comment on it or whatever. You don't have to, but yeah, you know, you can do, because like, why not? And you know, if you want to subscribe, you can, you know, because I do upload Rust videos on here. I will be uploading like all different types of Rust videos, but it's gonna be mainly Rust videos. So I don't really know what yet. Maybe a few like playthroughs or whatever, or some wipes, some like clips. I don't really know, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, goodbye.